Cool. So I'm just going to do a shorter FTP test. Click on workout. Change that. Flat route maybe. I do like the mountain route because I do like sprinting down the mountain afterwards, trying to get 100 kilometers an hour. So yeah, well, I've never actually done an FTP test indoors. So hopefully it's just as nice and just as fulfilling as doing it outside. When I'm outside, I tend to do my FTP test with the wind, the tailwind, basically, simply because I feel like it pushes me harder. So yeah, I am going faster because of the tailwind, but I know for a fact that because of my watts and the output of my watts, I'm actually pushing harder on the pedals as well. So I think that is that slight bit of momentum maybe that you feel, or just the thrill of going faster. I definitely find if I'm doing an FTP test on a flat with a headwind, it aggravates me because I know I'm not going that fast. Therefore, I get a bit frustrated. And even though I'm looking at my watts and it's saying 300 watts or so, it doesn't feel like 300 watts because of wind, headwind. Going up a hill, I've never done an FTP test up a hill. I guess doing an FTP test up a hill is quite a good idea because you're going to push yourself to the max trying to get up that hill, I guess. Just hopefully you're contained enough not to push too hard too quick, because that's going to screw you over. So yeah, definitely uphill or in a tailwind is definitely the two best options for outside FTP testing. Again, finding a hill that you can do for 20 minutes, finding a flat road that you can smash on for 20 minutes is the hard part. I am lucky enough to have what they call a busway around here. Pretty much it's a nice smooth flat road that no cars are allowed on it, and it goes for 11 miles. The only problem is that every 5-6 miles there's a traffic light stopping, and you have to, I guess, like wait for the cars to go past. Hopefully there's no cars and you can go past it. But yeah, if there isn't cars, you still do have to slow down to check that there's no cars and stuff. So that does affect your FTP testing, which isn't great, but that is, I guess, the best place to do an FTP test, simply because it's so smooth. There's no danger of anything until you get to that traffic light. But yeah, I'll try and find a video to show you, or even a picture just to show you what it looks like, for no other reason than your curiosity. I'm speaking all over the place today. You can tell that I'm still ill. I shouldn't really be doing this FTP test when I'm ill. It's gonna see that one. Okay, sure. Right on. So, hello, what's going on here? My AMP Plus dongle decided not to be recognised. Hey, there we go. Just have to unplug it, plug it back in. Do a couple of spins to make sure my power meter's on. There we go. Nice. Got my AMP dongle back where it was. So, a lot of people have problems with AMP Plus dongles. I found that when I had it connected directly onto my computer, I couldn't actually use it as well because the signal kept dropping. I went for a massive palaver of trying to sort that out. I ended up buying a YouTube extension lead, and then I sat next to my bike spinning the pedals with my hands, and was like, what the hell's going on? This isn't working. And I realised the amount of power that you need to put out for the Ampere dongle to actually recognise on the system is far greater than just spinning the pedal with your hands. Okay, so with an FTP test, you'll see on the screen that it gives you good indications and advice, whereas a lot of other band workouts, it doesn't do as much as that. So an FTP test is really good for, it really helps you in terms of doing your FTP. I don't know why I've got my headphones in. Let's take them out. Okay. So I'm just gradually warming up. Heart rate's at 115, 100. See, considering I've just started, a heart rate at that high isn't that good. And that just highlights that I'm recovering from an illness kind of thing. So to be fair, I don't expect anything great from this FTP test. But I'm going to do it simply because I just want to feel some burn. So with this FTP test, one of the main priorities is to warm up properly. So the reason you need to warm up isn't just for your muscles, but it's also for your heart rate. So you need to wait for your heart rate to build up. If you don't, then what's going to happen is you're just not going to last as long. You're going to feel out of breath, your blood's not going to go to your muscles as much, or as well. So you're just better off taking it nice and easy for a while, warming up, doing a couple of intervals just to get the blood going. And then once you've done that, you can smash into a 20-minute FTP test. Nice, okay. So I bought gravel tyres for my bike. They're the Gravel Kings, 32mm. They're super comfortable. I presumed that gravel tyres would have a bit more grip than road tyres, but I have found that that's not really the case. Especially when if I have to slow down quite dramatically, quite quickly, if I pull the back brake and the front brake and I skid, and the sound of the skid is quite cool actually, because of the profile of the tyre. But what I've also found is it skids way too easily without gripping the tarmac. So yeah, they are full gravel. So, and I did buy them before I moved, and because I've moved, I found that there's not actually much gravel around here. There's not really much hills at all. It's quite flat. We are in Cambridgeshire. So because of that, they were a bit of a waste of money, but they were cheap. I got them cheap. I got them on trade. So yeah, £22 each. My first ride, I did go out and I did get a puncture straight away. That gave me a bit of a paranoia for actually using them all the time. However, that is the only that was the only puncture I actually got, and since then it's been fine. So these are the intervals. Just warming up the legs a little bit. £180 watts. There we go. And reduce. Bringing that heart rate up nice and slowly. That did feel good, especially not being on the bike and doing that kind of power in a while. Holding that for 20 minutes after recovering from illness, not going to feel so good. But we'll get through it. Okay, I can feel my body tingling because the sweat is going to come on. Yeah, so my heart rate's already 143. Ooh, there we go. So after this, I've got 3 minutes at 320 watts, 2 minutes at 350, and then 6 minutes recovery from those intervals, and then smash straight into 20-minute FTP test. After that, I've got 5-minute cool down. This should give me about a TSS score of pretty much around 100, I guess, because I'm going quite hard for 40 minutes. Well, not hard for 40 minutes, but full out for 20, and then at intervals. I'm thinking maybe 80, 90 TSS, which is relatively good, especially on a trainer. But yeah, if you're going out on the road, 140, 130 TSS, this feels much easier to do. But that's all the delights of indoor training versus outdoor training. If you train outdoors, you don't get as hot. You're more focused simply because your surroundings are changing. But you do have to, I guess, stop. You do get like slight rest intervals simply because slowing down for traffic, slowing down for other people, slight hill, slight downhill, things like that. So I just put out a video called, on the floor I called it actually, but yeah, I'm just bringing out a video just to highlight that I use Training Peaks and all the things in Training Peaks that are quite good for you, and how Strava doesn't really have that. Okay, so 3 minutes at 320 watts. So I'm still in the small ring. I found that on my FTP tests, I do find it easier to slightly grind. When I say grind, I don't mean like 80 or 70 RPM. I just mean at a higher gear with about borderline 90 RPM. I'm not sure why that is. I'm used to that more, I guess. Spinning is more beneficial, but it's that there's a borderline. Oh, there's definitely a border between spinning to a state that's good for your legs and keep your legs going, and spinning slightly too much, that it makes your heart rate go faster and tires you out a bit quicker. Yeah, so this is hurting already. I am in a small ring still, as I said. When I go to 350 watts for 2 minutes, I'm definitely going to have to change rings. One thing I do like about SRAM is I can go from small ring to big ring and keep the slight cadence the same by pushing both at the same time. Look, wait, watch. Both at the same time. Now I'm up in the big ring, and I'm 1, 2, 3. So that was nice and smooth. Now my heart rate is at 171 already. That is not good. Why that's not good? It's because my max heart rate is about 182. I'm looking forward to this 6-minute rest. Now what you've got to realise is, this is meant to hurt, because you're trying to open up the legs, open up the heart, open up blood, open up the heart. Not literally, but get the blood pumping. Okay. That was hard. So I've got 6 minutes. Then my FTP test will start. Now after that little bit, it doesn't really, it says ride at 160 watts, but ride what you feel comfortable and gradually increase that to 160 watts, because if you just ride at 160 watts now, you might not even be able to cope with it. When I say 160 watts, however much it tells you to, this is what it's telling me to do now. Oh. By the way, the myth about, there is a myth right going around that basically says if you're ill, put a load of jumpers on, do some hard work, and you'll sweat all the germs out. Doesn't mean a thing. Doesn't work like that. So although I'm sweating a lot, I'm still making my body taxed increasing my TSS, adding a workload, and making my body tired because of that. Now, this isn't going to be a long, I'm only on for another half an hour. I am just recovering from illness, so I'm not going to go that hard in terms of duration. But whether or not this makes me ill again, it shouldn't do. No way. As long as I eat well today, eat healthily, keep myself hydrated, it's fine. Okay, so I'm pretty much 2 minutes into my recovery interval until I go on my FTP test. Oh, that burned my legs. But the amount of watts that I've been up, 350, 360, 370, my FTP is nowhere near that. I was definitely in the red. You can see on my hour monitor there that it was zone 4, zone 5. And because of that, it's just going to make me prepare myself for the actual FTP test. But yeah, that was only 2 minutes, man. This FTP test is really short, to be fair. It's like the fact that I've done all those so quickly. I mean, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, now I'm on 6 minutes. It's a really quick FTP test. So for my FTP test, I'm not going to show you all the boring bits. I might fast forward a little bit so you can. So when I do speak, I'll slow it down again. But most of the time, I'm not going to be able to speak. I mean, it's an FTP test. You're meant to be going all out as far hard as you can. Talking to you is going to take some of my energy. And although I do enjoy talking to you, I enjoy getting a higher FTP a little bit more. I do at some point want to talk to you about losing weight as well, because I've made a couple of changes in my eating habits. Not necessarily what I eat, because I'm quite a health driven person in a way, but when I eat, at what times, very important. Now I only got a minute and a half to recover, so I'm going to try and recover quite nicely, because I do know that what's coming is going to be pains and more pains. I tell you what, it was quite hard getting back on this bike though. Having a recovery, it's just hard getting off a bike and getting back onto it after a couple of, like, just a week, a couple of days. Because you get into a habit of it, and then once you're in the habit of it, it's easy to get on and get off. But as soon as you break that habit, it's just like, because science, like, it's just scientifically, the body just wants to be lazy. The body wants to look after itself. And although exercise is definitely healthy for your body, the fact that it's being stressed, it doesn't see it as being healthy. Okay, so I'm slightly lower than what it's telling me to ride at, but I know for the fact that my legs are getting quite uncovered. So I've got 8 seconds. I'm not going to smash into it. I'm going to gradually increase my TP. So, boom, there we go. So at the moment, average, that's what I like about this FTP test. It's telling me my average. At the moment, my FTP is 291.
So I don't know if this this average is what I think pretty much it is. So in the 20 minutes, that's estimating my average for the 20 minutes. So if I keep my watts at this kind of level, my average is going to gradually increase. So the trick how to do this is stay at a level you know for a fact you can hold for the next 17-18 minutes, and then every couple of minutes increase that by 3 or 4 watts. How am I doing? Look at my heart rate, that's how I'm doing. Maximum is 182. halfway done. As you see here, endure the pain. So, one thing I'm not sure about is whether that's going to be my average after the calculation is done. If it is, I'm not getting a bit better FTP than I did before. If it's not, then I'm going to gain 10 watts on my FTP. But I've got 8 minutes left, 9 minutes left. No one knows what's going to happen, who knows. I find that gradually moving forward or backwards on my seat helps with the distribution of muscles, so it doesn't hurt as much. A couple of sets of exhaling will get rid of all the carbon dioxide in your body. Not too much because you're faint. Okay, now you're going to be going all in. I'm not sure if I can. Oh God. Okay, you should stop. Okay, I feel ill now. Shaking, heart rate's all the way up there. Almost like you're going to faint. That does pass. Oh, I feel a bit. Now, as I said, Much harder on an indoor trainer. Okay, let's just try and spin. Doesn't matter what, just spin. This will get all the lactic acid out of your legs, gradually and hopefully. Ooh. Although it's really hard to spin after a hard workout like that, it does benefit you a lot. Because if you just stop, your heart's just like, oh, what the hell, what's going on? But if you gradually chill out, I guess it's a bit more therapeutic, it feels. Now as you see there, my FTP rose on Zwift. So I think 287. A lot of people have said their FTP is slightly different on the real road and on FTP on Zwift. As I said, well, that's an excuse. Another excuse is the fact that I'm just recovering from illness. My heart rate was quite high, or extremely high to be fair, on the limit. You'll see there on the line there. I mean, it wasn't going any much higher than that, was it? And then when it went smash down as soon as I stopped. So because I'm ill, my heart rate is going to be slightly elevated. If I'd done that when I was fully fresh, not being ill, I might have got a bit better. But as I said, that was the first time I'd done an FTP test on Zwift. Now a couple of things I need to explain there is right at the end, the screen started getting blurry. What that is it's just a bit of fun, to be fair. It just basically means, oh, you're going hard. Can you push it a little bit more until the end? I know you're fading, kind of thing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're going super fast. It just means you're coming to the end of a interval, and that's what's going to happen. Most intervals are the same. As I was doing an FTP test, my father decided to come in. It is Christmas Day, and instead of spending it with him, I am doing an FTP test. Because, let's be honest, cycling is life. So, no, wrong one. See, slightly disorientated. Just went up to my big cog instead of up in my rear cassette. Now this is a big hill, 16%. I'm going up it a weird direction though. I think normally this is the direction you go down it. Maybe, I'm not sure. No, that was quite hard. In the back of my mind, I was hoping that sweating would get rid of my illness, but as I said, that's a load of rubbish. Why it's a load of rubbish is because, I've already explained that I think as well, but just briefly, if you're ill, your heart rate is going to be elevated because you're trying to fight bacteria in your body. If then you go out and be like, hey, heart and body, I know you're working hard to fight this bacteria and make me better again, I'm going to make your job harder. That's basically what I just done. Made it a lot harder. So now I've got to be really careful. They say for the first 15-20 minutes after a ride, you don't really try and go anywhere near anyone, simply because you're more prone to the bacteria of other people and your immune system is slightly decreased because it's still trying to cope with the stress you just put on it from training. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but if there is a slight chance that it is true, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so TSS 68, not bad. I mean, for a 45-minute workout, 68 TSS is pretty good, to be fair. Not as much as I hoped, but again, it was a bit of a weird one, this one. It was good, but also not so good as well. Now, oh no, sweating so much I can't use my mouse. Okay, there we go. So, one thing to take from this is I went out a bit too hard at the beginning. I was holding 320. You see here, best 5 minutes was 324. Now, best 5 seconds was 460, that was right at the end. My best 1 minute was 388. So, next time, when I do my FTP test on here, I know definitely on here, it's slightly different in real life, but on here, I'm gonna stay about 291 for the first, I guess, maybe 12, 13 minutes. And then the smaller section of the test, I'm gonna just, well, go a bit harder as I did on the beginning. I'm still dripping. I'm dripping on my Wahoo. My Wahoo buttons are completely water covered, sweat covered. Yeah. I find when I've been going really hard on a turbo trainer, it feels a lot worse than out on the road. Not in my muscles, but yeah, not on my muscles, but when I've stopped and I'm doing this basically. I don't do this on the road, I just carry on going. But on a turbo trainer, I think because your body's so hot and it's got so hot and it's trying to cool down as quick as possible, and it makes your heart rate go faster and faster and faster, it just doesn't feel good at all. I mean, jeez. Okay, well, that was it for that ride. I hope you've... Right, so that was it for that ride. I hope that's helped you. I hope that's highlighted some of the, I guess, some of the... Oh, yeah, see, I'm pretty disorientated now. I hope that's just helped you with some of the benefits of doing a FTP test indoors, as well as some of the disadvantages. So with Zwift, really helps you out, gives you an average on the screen every second of that 20 minute effort. It gives you a nice warm up that you can cover yourself with. It gives you a slight cool down. But I think, yeah, one of the main things for me is the average that goes on the screen. Now, that average isn't, as we found out just a second ago, isn't the FTP score that you will have at the end of 20 minutes. What that average is the average for the ride before the calculation. So I hope that helped. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.